Yo guys, welcome, we're back. I don't know what happened there, the stream just kind of just messed up on me. Didn't work too well. Yeah, welcome Camo, if you are in this one. If you are in this one. So yeah, so another thing I want to talk to you guys about is Xbox. Now, I want to get your guys' opinion. Now, personally, whatever you guys say as an opinion isn't really going to change my opinion. But I am interested to see what you guys think. So, recently, a couple of my PS4 friends have received Xboxes for Christmas and birthdays. And another one of my friends also has an Xbox, but he kind of switches between the two. So, like, sometimes, like, he'll play on his Xbox, but he'll still be in a PS4 chat party, if that makes sense. And people have been saying, like, why don't you get an Xbox? Ash, why don't you get an Xbox? Personally, I don't want to get an Xbox. Right? I'll tell you why. Like, people make out like Xbox is so much different than PS4, but it really isn't. Like, I can see where they're going when they say it is, like, but all it really is, the thing with Xboxes is it's just a different system essentially. So obviously on PS4 you get like games that you can't get on the Xbox. On the Xbox you get games that you can't get on the PS4. But out of them games, there's like one game that I would want, which is Forza Horizon 4. Now, another game that I'd want is the ability to play Grand Theft Auto 4. Now, if I was going to do that, I may as well just get a second-hand PS3, and then that way I can, like, you know, because I've been a PlayStation player, and then that way I could play, like, do you know what I mean? I could play like episodes from Liberty City and stuff like that. Do you know what I'm saying though? So like personally, I don't see the point in getting an Xbox for me. I think, to be honest with you, it's just the same. So many people have got Xbox and they're getting like GTA on it, but I already have it on the PS4, and it's the same with like Minecraft. I've got Minecraft on the PS4, so why would I buy another system? Do you know what I mean? Like with other games, like which I can get on the system I've got. That's the same. Do you know what I'm saying? Like all it really is a different controller, different menu layout. I mean, yeah, maybe you don't get Spotify on the Xbox. Maybe you don't. I don't know. Maybe there's different like streaming services or something like that. I think you can get Skype on the Xbox. But personally, I've always been a PlayStation fan. I've always liked PlayStations. I had an Xbox 360 years ago, that I just had it. I had it as a spare console. So basically, the main house where I lived, I had the main PS3. Had the online, got all the new games for it. The Xbox was kind of like it was at my nan's house. It was kind of out in the shed, and it was out in here, and it was just kind of, you know, it was kind of like I don't know how to put it, but it was kind of like sort of like I got like cheap games for it, like the cheap old games. I didn't get many for it. I didn't get the new games for it, if that makes sense. So like I only basically got like played like old games for it. So say like I think I had you know, like Forza Motorsport 2 or something like that, and I had a few other bits as well. Got Minecraft for it because it wasn't available on PS3 at the time, but I could never update it. I could never update Minecraft because I didn't have the live, didn't pay for the live, couldn't be bothered to pay for the live when PS3 was a free online. And basically, the Xbox 360 for me was just a spare console. It wasn't something that I used all the time. Didn't play it daily. Didn't get excited and think I'd rather play it than the PS3. It was just here, so like in the summer, I could just like come in here and play a couple of like racing games or something, or if I had a friend around, we could play like two-player, like Call of Duty or something. Which he had his Call of Duty that he used to bring round one of my mates, and that was about as far as it went. I also had a PS2 here as well, which I highly preferred. So I'm just asking you guys, like, if you would want me to get an Xbox. I wouldn't really want to get one myself. The only way I'd ever get an Xbox One is if I got like picked up a really cheap one on eBay, that was like that came with like just a console and the controller. You know, wouldn't have to come with games. Like, I'd just get one, and then if there was ever any like cheap games going, I'd just pick up a cheap game. But essentially, I wouldn't go out and buy an Xbox and buy a great ton of games for it and all the accessories. And I certainly wouldn't really be that keen on paying for Live when I'm paying for Plus, because I'd rather pay for Plus because I am a PlayStation user. But I just thought I'd get your guys' opinion, like if you think like that I should move to Xbox. Obviously, if I got like thousands of people saying move to Xbox, I'd probably consider it. But I do personally prefer the PS3, the PS4, the PS2, the PS1, the PSPs, not the Xboxes, not the Xbox, not the 360, not the One, not the One S, not the One X, not the One Slim, whatever you want to call it. It's not me. I've always been a fan of Sony. I was brought up with Sony consoles. So back in the day, like, you know, my dad had a PS2 and then I started playing games on the PS2. He had a PS1, stuff like that. It was just how it went, you know. It was just the way it went. So many memories with the PS2. I remember I remember on the day when San Andreas came out. Oh yes, I remember when San Andreas came out. Fully remember that day like so clearly, because obviously I knew San Andreas was coming out. It'd been like advertised on telly and all that. And my auntie had taken me on a day out. I can't remember where. I'm pretty certain it was to like a theatre or something to see like Jack and the Beanstalk or something. And obviously it must have been planned. Like my dad was going to go and get the game while I was away. So we come back and my dad's got the PS2 on. And I was like, "You've got San Andreas, haven't you? You've got San Andreas." And they were like, "No, he's loaded up one of his bike games," because he played the old like TT bike games and stuff. And he was like, "No, he's playing one of his bike games." And then I remember like seeing the Rockstar logo, and I was thinking like, they don't show up when you're loading up the bike game. Obviously, I didn't know like really what the R's meant back then because I was just a kid. But then I do remember seeing Grand Theft Auto pop up on the screen, and he was like, "Oh wow, you have got it." I was so happy. Love San Andreas, like it is a really good game. Driving's a bit unrealistic now, but back then, like, oh yeah, it was so good back then. I've re-bought like so many copies of it because there's something that like always drags me back to that game. Like I've got the iPad version, I've got the PS4 version, pretty certain I've got the PS3 version. I've had so many PS2 versions. I even had the PC version one time. Just love San Andreas so much, but no, I wouldn't really want to get an Xbox though. To be truthful with you, I know like on the Xbox you can play like all the 360 games, but it doesn't interest me. To be completely truthful, the way I see it, like it'd be good if PS4 could play like the older games. I have said about this before, but then like, you know, like them games were made for them systems. Do you know what I'm saying? Like I play San Andreas on the PS4, but it nowhere near feels as good as playing it on the PS2. Not gonna lie, like playing it on the PS4 just doesn't feel as good as playing it on a PS2. Like, cause like I don't know, like you feel when you're holding a PS2 pad and putting your memory card in with your saved data, and then like PS4 just saves it all on the PS4, and I don't know, it just doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel as good as playing it on a PS2. And that's the same with like other games. Like I don't know, like because there's something about them consoles. So but there we go. Anyway, what time is it? Oh, we're alright just yet. Well, I'm gonna be cutting the live soon because I'm gonna do some stuff inside for a bit, and then it'll soon be tea time. So there we go. But yeah, but no, I don't. I mean, I don't feel too ill, but I do just certainly feel a bit run down. You know, just in need of a bit of like not a break as such, but just not to like get up and not like have to go anywhere, if that makes sense. Like, I mean, like if I go out tomorrow, I won't be going out till night, so that like that gives me all day like to chill out. Like, but usually like we're thinking of going down street again. You see, that's it. You see, like we're going down street, like that's sort of like, you know, like I just wish I had a day where like I didn't have to go anywhere. Well, I didn't have to today, but I chose to because I like going out personally. Like I don't not like going out. I love going out. I am a going out person, but like I just think deep down, I do need to like have a day of like not going anywhere. If you get me. So like, you know. But that's just me. Personally. Anyway, guys, the new mic. Look at that beauty. That's what I usually record my audio with. But because I just don't feel that well, I don't think it would sound that good. I feel a bit like you can kind of tell like that I feel like my nose sounds blocked up. I don't have a sore throat. It's not its best. I feel a bit, you know, and I feel like if I started MCing, I'd want to like start coughing. I just don't feel like at my best. And obviously, I want to give you guys the good tracks. But you know, there we are, you see. Oh, what have I? Oh, wrong. I was pulling the wrong thing. Oh, sugar. Jeez, I have a message. Alright, let's have a little tune, shall we? Wi-Fi's playing up. Sorry about that, guys. Wi-Fi's just having a moment. We're back, I think. This is a good song. classic is this song. Classic house. Yeah, that is a tune. Yeah, classic house is definitely. Well, house music in general is just my favourite style of music. Classic house, obviously. Classic house is like the best. Like, I'm sort of talking like house music is alright today, but house music has gone a little bit sort of like, I don't really know how to put it, but it's gone a little bit, you can tell like it's got a modern sound to it, if that makes sense. Like, I don't know, like you don't always hear the pianos as much, and there's always like a bit more of these like build-ups. And when you think of like house music nowadays, you kind of think of like these like pictures of like beaches, like foreign beaches, and these like really like nice warm places, and these sort of like, I don't really know how to put it, but there just isn't something about music like it used to be with house. Like Sonny Fodera's doing some alright stuff, like you get quite a good like selection of pianos, but I don't know, like some of it's like remixes from the charts. I don't know, like when you think of like the latest house music, it's kind of like Tom Zanetti, but house music wasn't really a MC rapping sort of thing. And like bass house, all that like bass house is coming. That's not really house music. House music to me is a good female vocalist, male vocalist, a nice little beat, nice little bit of bass in it, and a good piano melody, like this. And I can think of like loads of good tracks, like Kings of Tomorrow, Julie McKnight, finally. That's a really good one. Soul Centre featuring Kathy Brown, Strings of Life, Stronger on My Own. Robin S, You've Got to Show Me Love. I could probably go on, there's loads. There's Chrissy Ward, Right and Exact. K Class, Let Me Show You. K Class, Rhythm is a Mystery. CC Rogers, Someday. CC Rogers, No Love Lost. Channel, Dance, that was a really good like classic house. Bob Sinclair did some really good classic house tunes. Blaze, Do You Remember House? I could think of loads. Marshall Jefferson, Move Your Body. Going back in time a bit, obviously. Smoke Filled Cafe, Julie McKnight, Diamond Life is what it's actually called. I could think of loads. I could go on like Lady, Hear Me Tonight, Music Sounds Better With You, Stardust. There's loads of like really good like melodies and like songs and timeless like stuff. But house music nowadays just seems to have that like modern sort of like that modern like remix feel. I don't really know how to put it. Kind of like, I don't know, like I guess like we can put on like a newer house track. Like, so bearing in mind like this is like this now. We'll take this one back to the beginning. Okay, so look, when it loads, should do in a moment. So that's like the beat you would hear in a classic house track, right? And then we'll go to a new one. We'll pick Sonny Fodera. still got that beat, but listen in the track. Well, yeah, this has a piano, obviously, but that's not exactly what I'm getting at. But listen, see how there's a bit of a build-up? Two sets. What are you doing?
I was coming to say, are you on the basketball?
Yeah, usually I have to buy the car. Is that too late for you?
It's 10 before now, yeah.
Yeah, I'm about. Yeah, I'm about. Apologies about that, guys. I think we're still here. Yeah, we are. Alright, yeah, so sorry about that. I'm gonna cut this in a minute. Oh, it's only just gone 10 to, honestly. Literally, what it was, right, is Friday. I always get a bath on a Friday, so I'm clean for the weekend. And I always get it round about 4 o'clock because I just prefer to do it. I've got the afternoon and then just sort of late afternoon before my tea, I just freshen myself up and then have my tea. And it always gets to about 10 to 4, quarter to 4. And I always get, are you going for a bath yet? I get a bath about 4 o'clock, like most Fridays. Sometimes if I don't get time, I get one on a Saturday. But I always do it round the 4 o'clock time. I don't like doing it after tea because I like to chill out after tea. I don't really like doing it first thing in the morning because I don't know. I'll do it, but 4 o'clock I prefer to do it. Like it sort of like freshens me up for like the night. Freshens me up for like the night. I'm sort of fresh for the weekend. And I say like every time I get one about 4 o'clock, 10 to 4. Are you going for a bath? I always get it at 4 o'clock. Well, sometimes just after, but it's always round. It's always between 4 and quarter past where I go to run it. It's never later than quarter past. Anyway, you ready? Yeah, yo, two bad boys on the mic, here we go with the wicked MC. Gonna rock this show, gonna rock this session. Two bad boys on the mic, what you reckon? I'm gonna send you up to heaven, cause you know the beat is coming in. Jump on the beat around the rhythm. Wicked MC, say gonna give 'em. Pull up a chair and fucking listen, because we're gonna reminisce and gonna take it down to the past and the blast. Here we go now, gonna rock the show now. Wicked MC, gonna let you know now. I'm gonna stand on your big toe now. Big toe now, when you toe yo. When I'm gonna stand on your big toe now. Big toe now, when you toe yo. When I'm on the mic, I'm never gonna fail. I'm gonna make the bandage go pale. Who's on the mic, you're licking the ale. Yeah, but you see how it's got that like, sort of like, it's got that like deep beat in it. They never had that in the classic. I don't mind it, but sort of what a classic house was, you had the little beat coming in, the like, and then you'd have like the piano, and then you'd just have the beat come back in over the piano, and then you'd maybe have the piano come out and the beat, and you know, you just have it with a bit of bass, and you'd have like some singing, and then the piano again. Whereas the newer songs have a little bit of a, and then they have like this kind of like, sort of like the beat, like everything sort of like fades out and it goes like, and then like sometimes you'll have a piano, but you won't always have a piano, and the piano melodies are nowhere near as good as they used to be. Like the piano melodies would be like do 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 do, and then you'd have a little beat come in, and then there'd be like a miniature build up, and then you'd have this like boom 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 boom, 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 and then like, do you know what I mean? And that's not as good as the classic house. Whereas like classic house melodies would be like do 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 do. There'd be more to the piano melodies, and they sound more feel good, not like. Because the thing with house music is you're not going on a full on rave. Like, if you're going on a full on rave, you go to Hardcore Till I Die, you go to a hardstyle event, you go to like Power Stomp and stuff like that. You want to just like listen to a timeless classic. You want to just have a good night and a catch up with some friends, and you want to kind of like just have a little boogie to like some like timeless classics. You go to a house music night, and the classic house is the way to do it. The thing with the new music is it's tried to be aimed to be more uplifting, but it kind of ruins it. Like I see what they're trying to do, and it's a good idea, but it doesn't work as well as the classics, because the thing about the classic house music was so good that it's one of them that it's hard to beat. Do you know what I mean? It's kind of like, say, someone's specific song. Like someone, for me, like, let's look at me. I'm not a big artist, right? But when I first started out MCing, I did a song called One Bed Flat. And to this day, people still mention me for that song. People still remember me for that song. And, you know, like, and a lot of people say, like, oh, you're getting good now, but, you know, never as good as One Bed Flat. And then a lot of other people, like Irish Whistle. Do you know what I mean? Like, a lot of people go, like, do Irish Whistle. Irish Whistle was one of your best. Like, oh, I love Irish Whistle the best. And that's the same. You always have an artist that's known for one song that's just hard to beat. You get what I mean? It was kind of like The Weekend Comes, You Get Paid. Before I put it into the Sonny Fodera song, but since then I've never been able to find like something that like that sounds as good as that. We had Saturday as Rave Day, but not as good as The Weekend Comes. It's kind of similar, but it didn't work as well. Anyway, guys, like, sub, comment, share.